You've seen a bunch of videos about selling AI automations to businesses, but how do you actually deliver the project after the sale? Do you host it? Did they? What about API keys? What happens if something breaks? I help builders and freelancers become high-ticket AI automation consultants, the kind who deliver professional systems and not just workflows. And if you want to get paid like a consultant, you need to handle delivery like one. If you want to land your first or next AI client, you can take part in the 4-week challenge inside of my free school community of like-minded people, where you'll find a free course that's honestly better than most paid courses out there, and you'll get direct one-on-one access to me for whatever questions that you might have. The link is down below. All right, now let's dive in. First question is self-hosted or N8N cloud. So here's my take. If you have a serious client that's running serious volume, or if you're building multiple automations for them, self-host. You'll save them money, you'll have control over the infrastructure, and you can spin up beefy servers that will actually handle what they need. Now, cloud can make sense in certain situations. If your client is in a regulated industry, think lawyers, doctors, or anyone that gets nervous about compliance, sometimes they'd rather let N8N handle the security than trust you or them to configure it correctly. Because if you deploy a server and then somebody hacks into it, that's a conversation you do not want to have. And one more thing, self-hosted lets you use custom nodes, and cloud doesn't. So if you're doing anything super custom, then self-hosted is the move. For the majority of my clients who are small businesses, I use cloud. They prefer the simplicity and straightforwardness of it, but know your client. Okay, next, who actually manages the N8N instance? Many of my clients want their own infrastructure, and honestly, that's the cleanest way to go about it. If they don't have hosting yet, you charge a setup fee. Have them create the hosting account, put their card on file, and then you just jump in and deploy what you need. Or you tell them exactly which server to buy, they do it, and then they hand you the credentials. Or you have them set up their own N8N cloud account, give you the credentials to log in, and then you can walk them through how to change their password once you're done and hand off the project to them. Now, some clients don't want to deal with any of that. They just want you to handle it all. In that case, you host the workflow in your account and just charge a monthly maintenance fee. This usually happens with retainer clients, the ones where you're building and improving workflows month over month. And then there's the hybrid. They own their own infrastructure, but you charge a monthly maintenance fee to keep things updated and make sure that nothing goes down. And that's a solid middle ground. All right, now let's talk about turning in the work. 99% of the time, your client wants you to log into their N8N and install the workflow with production credentials. And the reason is simple. API keys change, responses change, things go wrong. If you test in your environment and then just hand over a JSON file, you're setting them up for a bad time. When you deliver it installed and ready to go, all they have to do is click one button and it's live. Done. But here's what separates hobbyists from professionals, and that's documentation. Package the workflow with clear documentation. Where do they change credentials if they need to? Where are the webhooks? Where do they find their API keys? You're writing this so that if you were to disappear from the face of the earth, they or anyone that they hire can troubleshoot their own system. Once in a blue moon, you'll get a technical client that just wants the JSON file. In that case, put it in a Notion page with the documentation, hand it over, and you're done. So now API keys. This is where things can get a little messy if you don't have a system. While you're building, use test credentials. You don't want to accidentally mess up their production data or send real emails to their customers during a test run. That said, some APIs are a little bit janky. You switch from test to production and suddenly things break that were working fine before. It's not super common, but be aware of it. Your client is responsible for giving you the API keys that you need. They might add you to their accounts, give you access to a service, or just ask you, where do I find this? And that's fine, just walk them through it. But here's the rule. Do not send passwords or API keys over SMS or email. Use something like Dashlane. Secure it. For anything that requires the client to log in, like Google, OneDrive, etc., hop on a quick call, connect it in N8N, and make sure that it works before you hand off the project. And pro tip, For workflows that use the HTTP node, leave an edit node at the beginning of the workflow. That's where you'll store the API key. That way, if you have multiple HTTP nodes all hitting the same service, they all pull from one place, so you can just change it once and it's done. All right, finally, let's talk about support and maintenance contracts. By default, I offer 30 days of support on anything I deliver, regardless of whether or not there's a retainer. If something breaks, an API changes, something goes sideways, I'm there to fix it. But some clients want more than that. They want to know you're on call. They want small tweaks handled without having to renegotiate scope every time. For those clients, you charge a monthly maintenance fee, and the price depends on how much they actually need. If they want new workflows and constant improvements, then that fee is going to be higher. If they just want you available on call in case something breaks, then it's lower. Either way, you're not doing free work. You're building a professional relationship with clear expectations. So that's what actually happens after you sell the automation. Hosting, delivery, API keys, maintenance, the stuff that nobody really talks about, but that everybody eventually needs to figure out. If you want to land your first or next AI client, you can take part in the 4-week challenge inside of my free school community of like-minded people, where you'll find a free course that's honestly better than most paid courses out there, and you'll get direct one-on-one access to me for whatever questions that you might have. The link is down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.